Now at 11, wrong way wreck.
Going northbound into southbound travel lanes of the Sawgrass Expressway at probably about 100 miles an hour.
The 911 calls from the South Florida crash that killed 2 young women. And we begin with this CBS 4 exclusive. The calls came in fast and furious, warning police and troopers about a dangerous driver who was speeding down the highway. Good evening, everybody. I'm Rick Fulbaum.
And I'm Cynthia Demas. CBS 4's Carrie Cott is live at a Florida Highway Patrol substation with this exclusive story. Carrie?
Cynthia and Rick, about a dozen drivers called 911 in the early morning hours of November 17th to report that wrong-way driver on the Sawgrass. The wrong-way driver's car and the victim's car are impounded as evidence here at this Florida Highway Patrol substation. The 911 calls we obtained revealed just how dangerous it was on the highway that night and show how many drivers tried to warn police of a potential tragedy ahead. The morning after the deadly crash on the Sawgrass Expressway claimed the lives of Caitlin Ferrante and Marissa Catronio, the accident scene was clear. But hours earlier, a flurry of phone calls poured into 911 in Coral Springs, starting at 1:45 in the morning on November 17th. One of the first calls was from an off-duty police officer.
I looked like a white or silver four-door car just went by me, going northbound in the southbound travel lanes of the Sawgrass Expressway at probably about 100 miles an hour.
Other callers also reported seeing a wrong-way driver.
I'm on the Sawgrass, and there's a guy driving on the other side of the road.
Okay, let me give you the number for Florida Highway Patrol.
Investigators say 20-year-old Kayla Mendoza was the wrong-way driver. In some instances, 911 callers were told to hang up and try FHP. Other calls were transferred directly to FHP. At 1:48, 3 minutes after the initial call came in, the Highway Patrol reached out to Coral Springs Police about the wrong-way driver.
This is Florida Highway Patrol. I've got a wrong-way driver on the Sawgrass. I've got a unit en route, but he's coming from the turnpike, so it's going to take him a few to get there.
About a minute later,
There was just a head-on collision on the Sawgrass.
FHP says Mendoza slammed into Catronio's car. Witness Frank Aceste told 911 it was bad.
And one of the cars going on fire right now, and nobody's coming out of them. Police sent someone right away.
Catronio died at the scene. Ferrante died days later. As paramedics tried to rescue the victims at 1:51 a.m., 6 minutes after the initial call, FHP alerted Coral Springs Police of the accident.
Hey, this is FHP. Reference that wrong-way vehicle. We're being advised it's head-on collision.
Yes, we've got several calls on it. We are aware we've got the paramedics and the police en route.
Great. All right, thank you. And you've got fire as well?
Yes, we do.
Memorials to the 2 young women sit on the side of the Sawgrass Expressway. No charges have been filed in the case. Investigators say Mendoza was drinking at a Coral Springs restaurant prior to the crash and had a blood alcohol level nearly twice the legal limit. I spoke to the Florida Highway Patrol tonight. They told me that once the call came in, they were on top of the situation. They told me the trooper that responded was coming from the Pompano Beach Service Plaza on the Florida Turnpike several miles away. FHP continues to actively investigate this case. Live in Plantation, Carrie Cott, CBS 4 News Tonight.